Now I would like to bring to the stage the founder of Trans Ohio, and his name is Shane Morgan.
What we do here tonight is important, but what's most important is what we do when we leave here tonight. What we do tomorrow, what kind of community we become. We heard a lot about the gay and lesbian teens and the bi teens, but what we don't often hear about are the gender non-conforming kids. The boys who like to wear nail polish or who are a little effeminate. The girls who are tomboys. I used to be a tomboy. I used to get bullied all the time. I wore ball caps, cargo shorts, parachute pants, if you remember the 80s. Or people still might wear them. We often hear people in our community portrayed as people addicted to drugs, prostitution, or who end up brutally murdered in some street alley. We don't hear about the kids who kill themselves who are trans or gender non-conforming. It's sometimes only the gay kids who show up, the white gay kids. We don't often hear about the people of color community, the kids who are murdered or who are victimized because of who they are, of what they look like, of their gender. We don't hear about the kids from our community who commit suicide. A recent report came out from the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force and the National Center for Transgender Equality. 46% of people who self-identified as transgender have attempted suicide. Attempted. That doesn't mean that they were successful. That doesn't count everybody. 46%. Every day, 160,000 kids. That's more people than the shoe holds at a football game. Don't go to school because they're bullied. That's a lot of kids. The trans community has a lot of suicide. It's a community that's often brushed under the rug, that is often found fending for themselves more than too often. We don't get talked about. We don't get the same news coverage. We are often victimized from the community that we come from or that we come out in. What we do tonight and our sense of community, we are all responsible to stop this bullying. The bullying that happens from within, the transphobia, the homophobia. We are all responsible for standing up and getting each other's back. On November 18th, 2010, Trans Ohio and several other community partners will be holding Transgender Day of Remembrance. 7 p.m. at King Avenue, United Methodist Church. This is the 12th year of this vigil. In 1999, a woman by the name of Rita Hestard was brutally murdered because of who she was. Like most transgender murders today, and even kids who are victims because of sexual orientation or gender identity, we don't know who's taken their lives. And the biggest disservice is those who victimize themselves, who take their own lives. We often don't know who they are. Families have ostracized them. We only know who they are because they tell somebody, but not always. I invite you all, November 18th, 7 p.m., to join us at King Avenue. We're all responsible for what happens to all of us. Not just today, not just because we're all wearing purple. Every day we have a responsibility to our community. Something else that we need to mention also is the Trevor Project. So take your cell phones out. I know you all have them. Take them out, put this number in, write down this phone number. or go to thetrevorproject.org. The Trevor Project is a 24/7 hotline for suicide prevention, primarily for youth, but they don't hang up on anybody. They answer your calls, they talk to you, they're there to listen. People today, you're not alone. There's a whole community of people who are standing up behind you and advocating for you, providing education, community building, and support. The Trevor Project's phone number is 866-488-7386. 866-488-7386. You are all accountable. We are all accountable to each other. So I expect to see everybody on November 18th.